Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Nate Poole with Fuel for Thought. In today's society, one of the hottest topics is global warming and the use of fossil fuel. Whether it be the tree-hugging Prius driver or the red meat-loving redneck in his diesel truck, everyone has something to say about global warming and the effect it has on the fuel crisis. One thing that many people have suggested as an alternative to our current use of gasoline is E85. E85 is a special blend of gasoline and ethanol made by corn whiskey, as many people might call it. And I've decided to talk to a few people here at JMU around the campus and see what they have to say about alternative fuels, especially E85. Here with me today, I have Aaron Davis. Aaron, do you happen to know what E85 is?
No, I don't.
No clue or anything?
No clue. Never heard of it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, are you aware of what ethanol is?
Yes.
Can you explain?
Alcohol.
Yes! She's right. She's on to something, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that gasoline is like a good fuel right now? Like it's a good thing that we're using gasoline?
I mean, it's not good for the planet, but it helps me get places.
So, you're saying it's kind of a necessary evil right now?
Yes.
Okay, I can agree with you on that. Well, since you may not know, E85 is a new blend of gasoline and ethanol that people are using so that we're not taking in as much gasoline. We're only taking in 15% of gasoline and 85% ethanol. So we're using less fossil fuels and we're using corn as to make the ethanol, which is a renewable resource, unlike fossil fuels. So now that you kind of have an idea of what E85 is, what do you think about the whole premise of using that compared to just gasoline?
I think we should all start using it so we can make the planet a better place.
Well, one of the problems is it costs about the same, but you might get worse fuel mileage in your car. Some cars develop about 15 to 20% worse fuel mileage, according to Edmonton Brothers.
Yeah, but probably in the long run, like if the planet gets really bad, we'll still have to pay eventually for something.
So you think it's worth it for people to have to pay maybe 15% more if they're saving our planet?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it could be something that could replace gasoline in the future?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Now that you kind of know what E85 is, let's move on to our final question. So, if you were given the choice in a brand new car, you could have the brand new Jeep that runs on gasoline, or you could have the brand new Jeep that runs on E85. Which one would you choose?
The one that runs on E85.
Really?
Yes.
So, you're willing to help the earth that much that you're willing to give up the 15% to 20% in fuel economy?
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you very much for your help, and thanks for answering my questions.
Anytime.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to our next stop of interviews, and here with me today we have Kurt Earnhardt. Say hello to the people, Kurt.
Hey, how's it going, Bo?
Okay, so let's jump right into it.
Hey,
Kurt, are you aware of the alternative fuel E85?
No, sir.
Never heard of it? Anything about it?
I ain't never heard no E95.
All right. Well, what do you think about the alternatives to gasoline as of now?
Hey, we got that, those electric cars,
Yes.
makes my gas bill go up.
Oh?
Electric bill, gas bills are already too damn high.
Yeah, like taxes.
Yeah, hey, you ain't wrong. Hey, so, got the electric one, and then, there's one guy saw on the news the other day had a car ran on vegetable oil.
Yes.
That's something I could get behind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, well, just in case you didn't know, got a couple of quick facts about E85 for you. E85 is actually cheaper than regular gasoline, unleaded gasoline right now, which a lot of people don't know. And a lot of people aren't aware of the effects that E85 can have.
Hey, is it cheaper than a gallon of vegetable oil?
I can't quote you on that one. Not sure how much vegetable oil is running these days. I think it depends on fish prices as well.
All right.
Okay. So do you think that the idea of trying to use alternative fuels like E85 is a good idea? Do you think it's something that we should get behind as a country?
Hey, if it ain't diesel, I'm not putting it in my truck.
I guess I gotta stand with you on that one. Well, what about in racing? You know, a lot of race cars these days are running on flex fuels like E85 because they claim that it has a higher octane rating than other fuels. It's much cheaper than higher octane fuels.
Let me tell you what, Bo. I ain't watched a race since Dale Sr. died.
Has
He ain't
been the
even
same.
dead. He's just a lap ahead. All
I'll
right?
tell you that.
I am all for gasoline in my cars, in my tanks, in my trucks, because this is America. The greatest goddamn nation in the world.
Yep, you got a point there. And I think with that, there's not really much more we can say, folks. Mr. Earnhardt, thank you very much.
Hi.
It's always a pleasure to hear from you. And that's all for this interview.
I'll catch you later, Bo.
Well, folks, now that you've heard from a few people here at JMU, I figured it would only be fitting if you got to hear what I had to say. What I think is that E85 is a great new alternative and is an awesome step forward in fuel and in alternatives to gasoline. But I'm sorry to say, but I don't think it's there yet. There are a few problems still with it, and people aren't really willing to give up the fuel mileage and for the price just to save the earth. It sucks to say, but it's just how people are. Another point is I think it's a great thing for recreational use. I think that it's awesome for people that are in racing, like drag racing, things like that, because in comparison to a $12 gallon of 104 octane gasoline, you can get 104 octane E85 for only $2. So for those people, it is a great alternative and it's a great choice. Yet in the everyday market, I still don't think it's there yet. There are still some problems that people need to figure out, and I think that we can in the future. I think that there's still that magical blend of gasoline and ethanol. Maybe it's not E85, but I think it will be able to help solve our fuel crisis. I think it's definitely a step forward in the right direction. From now on, I think that E85 is only going to get better and better. I don't see how it could go downhill from here. I figure that it can only go up and up from here. I think that the fuel is great and it's some kind of big scientific exploitation, but it's not the fuel of tomorrow that everybody's claiming it to be, even though that does have potential to change the fuels of tomorrow. Now, I like to think that E85 will change the world, but in reality, there will probably be some new fuel in the next year or so that will come and wipe out everything. It could wipe out E85 and all kinds of things. But until then, I guess we're stuck with gasoline and E85. So maybe the next time that you fill up your tank, go ahead and try to think about switching to E85 and possibly trying to help the environment. Thank you. This is Nate Poole signing off. Hope you have a great day.